Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, Elon Musk is back in the news, and for not something that's very good. In fact, over the past about 24 to 48 hours, a major situation has gone down with not only him, but also the Tesla group themselves. Now, the situation was this. It started off on August 7th of 2018 when Mr. Musk went to Twitter claiming that he had secured the funds to take the company private and was going to take it off the publicly exchanged situation that it's been in over the past several years, because he's been quite upset with a lot of the investment people that have been putting their money into Tesla and trying to actually make some cash off of the company. The situation came down that the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, actually was doing an investigation on Musk after this situation, claiming that he was trying to manipulate the stock market on false information. Early reports was this deal was just basically going to be a slap on the wrist, and Musk was going to be sent on his way. But over the past about 48 hours, this situation, probably over the past maybe more than 3 days, the situation got a lot more serious where the SEC actually put a lawsuit on not only Elon Musk, but Tesla Motors as well. The situation earlier was talked about that Mr. Musk was basically going to fight this to the bitter end. But just about 48 hours ago, Mr. Musk actually went down from those particular claims and is actually settling with the SEC for a pretty fantastic sum of cash, and also a very serious situation as far as in his world. The situation is this: there's been fines against Tesla and Elon Musk. Musk will have to pay $20 million to the SEC, along with Tesla, who can't afford to lose any money, will cough up another $20 million to the SEC. Also, Musk has to step down immediately as chairman of the board of Tesla Automobile Group, which is a major blow to this young man's life. Along with, apparently, Tesla is now going to oversee his Twitter account from here on forth, which is probably the reason that Musk hasn't actually let off a tweet since this whole situation has gone down, which probably got him whimpering in a corner over this situation. Musk loved to go to Twitter to raise a bunch of hell, and apparently that situation is done and over, because not only is the SEC actually suing him, but you may remember that whole situation with those poor kids that were trapped in that cave, and one of the divers actually called out Tesla for, just being kind of who he normally is as far as Musk is. And basically, Elon Musk called him in a tweet on several different occasions a pedophile, which the guy actually ended up threatening a lawsuit. But apparently it had somewhat of a change of heart until Musk went on to Twitter and claimed that the guy was a chicken for not actually suing him. So guess what? Now he's got another lawsuit on his hands. So he's going to cost himself a lot more money with a defamation of character lawsuit that's coming very soon. So the trick is he can't be reelected as chairman of the board for 3 years, which does sound like he's got a window of opportunity to get in there. But this situation has become way more than bizarre. So we'll definitely keep you in tune of what we hear more about this situation. In somewhat happier news, let's talk about this particular machine. This is the brand new Infiniti Project Black S. Basically, Infiniti hooking up with their partnership not only with Renault and Nissan and their Formula One partners to use a lot of Formula One tech on this particular vehicle. It comes with a 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 making 400 horsepower, along with a hybrid system that kicks in another extra 100 horsepower. It's also got 3 separate generator motor units that actually have kinetic energy recovery system inside of the vehicle. 2 of them actually taking the recovery system off of the heat in certain situations of the vehicle. Another one taking off of the braking system, which kicks in another 63 horsepower, giving this vehicle a total of 563 horsepower. Talking about 0 to 60 coming in at under 4 seconds. This thing is a pretty serious piece of kit, especially those massive dual exhausts come out in the center, which is fantastic to look at. A lot of cool suspension work, a lot of aero work. I mean, just take a peek at the diffuser on the back of this thing, along with the massive rear wing. The sad part is Infiniti doesn't plan on putting this into production. In fact, this is only a somewhat of a flight of fancy or a technology showcase that they're actually going to show off when this vehicle debuts at the Paris Motor Show. But I'm sure that if enough people yell loud enough, maybe there may be a limited edition of this particular vehicle. So fingers crossed that that will happen like that. Next up on the list, another little flight of fancy. This one coming from the folks over at Porsche. This is the brand new Porsche 935 Type 991 Generation 2. This basically is a vehicle that's going to harken back to the old days of racing that they had back in the 70s. Now this particular machine has got pretty good bones as far as its real situation is concerned, because its actual bone of this vehicle is a GT2 RS 911. That particular vehicle comes with a 3.8 liter twin turbocharged flat six. Now this one's been bumped up a little bit to make 700 horsepower and 550 pounds-feet of torque. That is actually shifted through a 7-speed PDK gearbox, and the vehicle is rear-wheel drive. Now, as far as the performance is concerned, even with the massive arrows, they're still talking about 210 mile an hour top speed and a 0 to 60 run that's going to come in at under 3 seconds, or just right at 3 seconds. The vehicle comes with a lot of coolness, a ton of carbon fiber, a ton of aero work, a ton of titanium and aluminum inside of the vehicle as well. The interior has been completely stripped down. It's all race ready, even though it's got a lot of creature comforts, a lot of leather, and it's got a wood illuminated gear lever like right out of the old Carrera GT. Also, these massive carbon ceramic brakes on all four corners, McPherson Racing 3-mode struts on all four corners as well. These fantastic looking, what they call turbo fan wheels that actually extract the air. This was a technology that was used long, long ago. The real cool thing is this vehicle is going to exist in public hands. 77 of these things are going to be built for the world with a starting price of $870,000 US, which I have to say is going to be quite a deal, because I think this vehicle is only going to go up in value, especially if it's a limited production run of people that actually can get their hands on this machine. This thing may make someone a lot of money someday. And last up on the list, Sebastian Ogier is in the news. Fellow who's well in the hunt for the World Championship and the World Rally Championship for the year of 2018, but has made his plans for 2019 official over the past about 48 hours. Ogier, who's been rapidly talking that he wanted to get back with a factory team, even though M Sport does have factory backing from Ford and a lot of engineering help, it's not a full-fledged factory outfit. But he will be heading back to his roots in year 2019, is be heading back to Citroen, heading up the C3 clan of the WRC, which is something that he actually started off in WRC way back in the day. He's trying to go for another little trick too. The first time in a long, long time that one driver and co-driver has actually taken the World Rally Championship inside of 3 different makes. The last person to do was Finnish driver Juha Kankinen. Now this really starts up an interesting situation. Okay, what happens to either Craig Breen or Mads Osberg, who are both drivers inside of Citroen as we speak? Also, you got a little situation too. What happens at M Sport? I have early reported not only that I thought Ogier was going to Citroen, but I really feel that Chris Meek, who was fired from Citroen earlier this year, will slide into the M Sport spot for next year, but that really does remain to be seen. There's a lot more silly season news coming out of the WRC over the next several months. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.